Today is February 25th, 2025. This is Carmen bringing you your daily Bloodborne Remaster update. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today, no news on the emulator, no Souls news, but in terms of gaming news, we have another studio closure to report. I feel like we do this a bit too often. So, Monolith, is it Monolith Software? Is that their name? Anyway, I think they're owned by Warner Brothers. They were making the Wonder Woman video game. So the video game and the studio are both done. The studio's closed, the game's canceled, and I did see this coming. I believe I said back before the previous Game Awards, I said, if we don't see Wonder Woman here, I'm going to assume it's probably canceled. And sure enough, it's canceled. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the same thing to happen to Knights of the Old Republic, and Pragmata. I'm just waiting for the same thing to happen there. We'll see, though. Studios won't close for Pragmata, at least, but we'll see. But yeah, I had a feeling this was coming. I figured that after we didn't see it last year, it'd been like 5 years, so, or 4 years, so there was no way they were going to show that game. It was done. So it's sad. Like I said, we mentioned this a bit too often. I don't see them getting saved. You know, I think the biggest thing I can remember last year in terms of gaming was when Xbox just closed Tango Gameworks, their best studio. They closed down Tango Gameworks, and then they were saved by Krafton. So yeah, Tango and the Hi-Fi Rush IP got saved by that last year. So yeah, I don't expect the same thing to happen this year. I don't think anybody's going to save Monolith, and they aren't going to, save the Wonder Woman game. I don't think so. It's over. It sucks to say, but it's another studio closure. Again, we mention it a bit too often in this these days, but yeah, if my voice sounds a little weird, it's because I've been a little bit sick all day. So yeah, we mention it a bit too often, but it is what it is. These days, if you're not a major studio and your AAA game gets canceled, your studio's going under. That's kind of the problem, it's back in like the PS2 and 3 era. If a game came out, didn't do very well, but then they did a sequel to it that did extremely well because it improved off of, that first game. They had the experience of the first game to go off of and make that new one. You don't really have that these days. These days, a game comes out, it crashes, it burns, or sometimes it doesn't even see the light of day, just like Wonder Woman, and the studio's done. So it's sad to say, but yeah, the video game industry, it's a black hole for money at this point. There's a crash coming. I'm sorry to say. There's a crash coming at some point. I would expect it before 2030, probably. Probably before the next console generation. Or maybe the next console generation will be the crash. We'll see. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today. That's been your daily Bloodborne Remaster update for February 25th, 2025.